Hello, this is Priscilla Batzell in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Art Studio Gallery, and I've been asked a lot lately about mixing my primary elements. Come on, turn around. Primary elements, pigment powders. And this one is called Majestic Blue, and I was going to mix a green, but this is just too pretty of a color not to use. So once you get the top off, find your container, mixing container. I'm going to grab another smaller tool, anything, to get that pigment powder out of there. I don't think it matters what you use. I'm going to start my mixing process with some GAC 800 from Golden. And since I like an overabundance of pigment powder, I'm going to put at least a tablespoon and maybe more in there, because I'm mixing for a 5-ounce bottle and I only want 4 ounces of it filled. So once I get to that point, if I have leftover, I'll put it in something else and use it first. So I think depending on the amount of mixture that you're creating, you can put as much or as little powder in as you see fit. But I'm going to start with that. Use my Colourarte spoon to stir. I've never used this before. I'm going to sort of chop it in, fold it in. Oh, that's a beautiful blue. That's somewhere between the cerulean blue and the frozen. And depending on how it looks for me, I'll decide at that point, once I don't have any more lumps. I do like the GAC 800 for starting. Not only do I always add GAC 800 to prevent cracking, but it's nice and loose as opposed to the Vivid Polypore and the Vivid Enamel, which are quite a bit thicker, which is really good for this because you don't have any paint body. I'm also going to use Josonia varnish, and everything I use is on my Amazon link underneath the link tree, underneath the video, underneath Show More. It's a lot of underneath. I should be down under. I wish I was down under sometimes. I'd love to go down under. Visit. Okay, so now this is the Vivid Polypore, and I have switched out the cap with one that flips open that I took off the Prism Pour bottles. Get rid of that little ring. And I'll show you that the Vivid Enamel looks very similar. And they are, for me, they're interchangeable. The Vivid Enamel is really best if you're going to make colors for doing blooms. I think I'm just going to rest that right there. If you've noticed that I have, let's just skip ahead for a second. If you've noticed I have a little dish of rocks, it's because I ran out of these really cute little marbles, and bigger marbles don't work. This does. My stones came from Desperate Measures while I was at Target. They were in the sale bunch, but I got a lot of black stones under a candle in my dining room. But I'm going to use the marble this time. And I'm going to guesstimate about half full of this. You could probably take a container. It's nice to have a pour spout in advance. And use a measuring cup or a measuring implement of some sort and find out how much it actually holds. Now, if I'm lucky the first time, I'll get the color right. And it looks like I might have gotten lucky. It's going to take me a minute to mix this for sure. Just going to keep scraping the sides and fluffing it up. What a gorgeous color! Woo! That reminds me of how much I love Sea Dancer, which is the turquoise sister or brother to that. Cap back in my bottle. Now, it doesn't look like I have a huge overabundance of this, but I am going to put some Josonia varnish, gloss varnish in there, and this is how I measure that. This makes my paint so glossy when it dries. It's like stained glass sometimes. Now you could mix, and I have tried mixing the GAC 800 with the Vivid Polypore or Vivid Enamel and the Jo Sonja varnish in advance. But when I mix a big batch of that, it's because I want to mix a whole lot. Now, I really think that if I wanted that darker, I could have added twice as much powder. But I really like the color I have, so I'm not worried about that. But I don't think you're ever going to do any harm by using as much of the powder as you want. And that is pretty much it, with the exception of showing you my little silicone paddles, which are great for cleaning out the bottom, especially if they're clean themselves, bottom of this rounded bottom container, which I believe was part of a mortar and pestle probably. And I like to take any and all of my paint and put it on my Lolify silicone mat. Lolify. I'm sure I say that wrong. So let's just go for the best. Hope for the best. Now, I like to leave that space in there. Looks like I'm going to have room to make some more. And I might just do that, just to show you what happens if you fall short. Which would be, I have enough time to start the process over. And I can remember at what level that was at. So a little more GAC 800. I almost picked up the wrong one. And this is the correct one. No, it's not. But this is. And I think this time I'm just going to give it about the same amount, because I like that color. Might be a little more. Might be a little less. A little more Vivid Polypore. Yes, I forgot to stir in between. But, assuming as I did it, chances are somebody else will be doing it too. So I'm just going to let that melt into the surface. And there isn't a vast quantity of this, so I'm not too worried about it. I'll just stir to my heart's content. And that's going to be pretty much it. There's a 20% off coupon code underneath the video, which will help you purchase Vivid Polypore, Vivid Enamel, Prism Pore products, or Primary Elements, or anything else that Colourarte happens to share with you. And the website is right there with the coupon code. I'm glad I didn't make any more of that, because I think that's all I really want in that bottle. And if it's not the exact perfect match, it's darn close and it's okay with me. I'm still going to wipe that off. I like to overlap my colors. I'm going to throw that little spoon right into my bucket and clean it up. I probably could have mixed that a little longer, but I don't want to keep you here. And I do have a marble in the bottom of this bottle, which will help mix things up. Now, what I didn't mention was the fact that I like to use the cling wrap. Press and seal, yeah? And I'm going to trim that off so it's shorter. But that is going to wrap around the bottle, and then I'm going to use a Sharpie marker. And these little tools are the bomb. I love, love, love these little silicone. I think they're for applying a mask. Ladies, or gentlemen, I guess. Guys do it now too. So measure the quantity of liquid that you want by using another container that actually gives you measurements before you start. And the GAC 800 by Golden is about 20-25% of the total. And the Vivid Enamel or Vivid Polypore is roughly 70%, which leaves the rest to be the Jo Sonja varnish and whatever volume the pigment powder takes up, which isn't much. I'll use that in a moment when you're gone. And put it down to join the rest of my colors. So, there's what I've got right there. I can feel and hear the marble. That is a fabulous color. I'm going to be really excited to use that. Let me grab my scissors really quick. Now, find a dedicated pair of scissors if you're going to cut this cling wrap, because honestly it builds up and then you can't cut anything with those scissors. So I start and I pull. I like to use Fiskars. And because it's made of, because it has glue in it and it releases with pressure, start your pressure at the beginning and then finish it at the end. And I'll just write on that with a Sharpie, whatever that is. All right, so I love you guys. I want you to take care of each other, take care of yourselves. Know that in my libraries, my content, you should watch it as soon as you can, because I got the funny feeling that YouTube is planning to make them all pay-per-view or membership view only for libraries. It's just a suspicion I have. I'm not certain. But I have 2,500, maybe 2,600 videos. And if you can't find a link, ask me. Or for right now, you should be able to find them by going to playlists, all playlists, created playlists. And that, I didn't shimmer anything at you, but I can guarantee that it shimmers. And I probably should have shimmered it at you. I'm sure Leslie is rolling over right now. All right, I love you guys. Take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. Bye for now. I hope that helped. If you have questions, feel free to ask me in comments. I'll get back to you. Thanks for being here. I'll talk to you again. See you soon, maybe tomorrow. I post at 3:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time most days. I love you guys. You inspire the heck out of me. I hope that helped. I think I said that twice. Bye.